93%. Na-correct ko na. Kasi pahalo-halo yung example. And let me just discuss it again as a reminder. In one Excel file, you can have several worksheets, okay, labeled, okay, as seen, okay, as shown. Marketing, technical, organizational, funding, okay, profit and loss statement or income statement, cash flow statement, and balance sheet. Okay. So, doon sa marketing, so sinama ko na yung discussion ng market segmentation and targeting. Okay. Na ang dulo niya, na-discuss ko na last time yun, no? Na ang dulo niya will have this. Okay. Yun, inano ko, in-enclose ko. Okay. Para yan ang makikita sa income statement. Ito yung income statement. Okay. So, ito yung tinatawag na top line. So, nanggaling itong sales revenue sa marketing. Yan, sa sales forecast. Okay. So, it's better to set it up that way kasi later, kapag nakumpleto niyo yung financials, makikita ninyo if there is something not desirable. Okay? Kasi kung hindi siya profitable, dalawa lang gagalawin ninyo. Either yung sales revenue or yung costs. Okay? And then what comes with the sales forecast is the sales and promotion budget. So this can be estimated. So you can have that estimate. Pwede rin yan. Okay? And then you can also assume shipping expenses. Ito yan. Okay. So, kailangan din yan sa profit and loss statement. Dito sa, ayan, no, selling and promotion, pati shipping expenses. So, if you have taken care of that, in the marketing plan, okay. So, ang gagawin lang, copy reference lang. Ito lang. So, ang nakuha ng marketing, itong top line, pati yung dalawang major cost ng selling and promotion, pati shipping. Okay? All of which are dependent on the sales revenue. Okay. Sige. So, technical naman, may assumption ka that will come from the bill of materials. Okay. How much will be the total materials required to make 1 unit of a product? Only 1 unit. Ito yun, 2.7. Okay. So direct materials yan, lahat ng material. Then you can put in an inflationary increase of 1.4% per year. Depende kung anong makikita na yung reading or reference, okay, sa internet, kung magkano yung inflationary factor that you can make as an assumption. Okay? Such that when you bring it over to the income statement, okay, ito yon, yung direct material. So, ito, naka-reference dun sa technical, 2.7. And then the computations here, naka-ano yan? Volume times unit cost, okay, times the inflationary increase. 1 plus the inflationary increase. Okay. So, nandito yan. Likewise, so balik tayo sa technical. Yung direct labor can be obtained by looking at what daily output or monthly output that you need to produce in order to meet the sales volume. Okay. So what you can do here is You can produce, okay, you can, what do you call this? So you can produce based on a 5-year average. Ito yan. And then divide it by 12 and or by 25, you get these numbers from which you will base your labor, direct labor. Okay. And then you will be able to get yung per day niyan. So yung per day niyan makikita rito, you can translate that to per unit. Tapos yung per unit, so just like above, may direct materials, meron ka rin assumed increases per year. Ito yan, 2.42. So pag dinala niyo sa ano, sa financials, nandito yung 302. Dito naka-built in yung ano, yung 2.4% year on year. So yung 2.4, ano yan, exponentially yan. Naka-apply rito over the first year. Then ito naka-apply on the first and second year para sa price. And so forth and so on. Okay. So ganun din sa ano, factory overhead. 75%. Okay? So pwede ka mag-assume dyan din ng inflationary increase. So you can assume a total, then get the pesos per unit. Usually per month kasi ito. 75 pesos. Bring it over to the income statement. Okay, bibigay ko na lang sa inyo yung Excel spreadsheet para kayo na lang ang gumamit nito. Para hindi na kayo mahirapan. Okay. Makikita ninyo yung 75 dito. Then you apply your inflationary increase. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, itong cost of goods sold nito, assumptions din yan na magagaling sa technical. Okay. Pero remember, yung sinabi ko kanina, yung production scheme ninyo will have to be considered. So if you're buying most of your materials from the outside, tataas to. Tataas yun. Liliit yung labor mo. Liliit din yung factory overhead. So magko-compensate yan. Depende kung ano yung production scheme ninyo. Okay. But make sure it is volume driven. Ito yung mga driver niyan. So if you have a unit cost, then you have assumed increases. Ang multiplier palagi niyan, kaya tinawag yung mga sales quantity. Okay? Yan yun. So may volume driver ka, may unit cost ka, may inflationary increase assumptions ka, you can apply it here. So just having that formula. So once you are able to get the total cost of goods sold, subtract them from your annual sales revenue in order to arrive at your gross margin. Okay? So na-recover mo na at nabayaran mo na yung pinanggawa mo doon sa sales volume. Okay? Ang hindi pa bayad, yun, yan, yung mga other transaction costs classified under GSAE with the accounts shown here and explained earlier. Okay? Now, before we get into this, so meron organizational plan. No? Ito top-heavy itong organization ito. Pwede kayong gumawa ng lean organization. Hindi kailangan ng ilang tao kaya ito. Yan, daming tao niyan. Okay. Dami. So instead of that, you can choose. Baka yung finance admin manager mo, siya na lahat nito. Or just give him 2. So dalawa lang, imbis lahat. So isa HR, yung isa accountant. 3 lang sila. Okay. Yung GM, masipag masyado, hindi na kailangan ng secretary, tanggalin na yung secretary. Okay. So depende yan. So ibababa yun, bababa yung monthly mo. Okay. So pwede kayo mag-sensitivity rito. analysis. So tanggalan mo ng mga iba't ibang tao para lumiit yung monthly total. Okay? So yun, bakit tinawag salaries and wages? Okay? Hindi kagaya sa production, yung mga daily paid doon na cover ng cost of goods sold. So you don't have to consider them here anymore sa admin. Sa admin din kasi may mga wage or earners. Ito. Ibig sabihin ng wage earners, daily paid. So kung daily paid sila, ko-convert lang niyo sa 25 days a month yung daily salary rate nila. Minimum, ito ginawa ko ng minimum wage rate. Pag yung skilled, dinagdagan ko na lang, naging 600. So all you need to do is multiply it by 25. Para sa wage earners, multiply mo na lang kung ilan sila. So when you add them up, magiging salaries and wages. Okay, times 12. Okay. Ito yan. So lagay natin per year, 12 months. So pwede natin gawing ito. So, nakalagay naman monthly total times 12. Tapos meron kang 13th month pay. So ganun din yun, 862. Ito yung total salaries and wages. Okay. Benefits you can assume here. Assume. Assume na lang ninyo. So, let's say 20%. Assume. So meron times 12 ulit. So meron na kayong per year. Okay? So itong mga cost nito, lilitaw yan dito. Yung dalawang yan. Lilitaw yan. Okay? Then put in the inflationary factor or increase, 8%, 5%. Yan. Nandito yan. So gawin niyo sa salaries na wage. Pwede niliitan, depende kung anong gusto niyo. So pag example, pinaltan mo ito ng 5%. Gagalaw lahat yun. Okay. Itong employee benefits, galawin mo ng mga example lang. 2%. Gagalaw lahat. So lahat ng assumed increases from here. Okay? So yung tinatawag nating funding. So all the funding should come before year 1. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng mag-funding ng year 1. Kailangan may pondo na before you start. So nandiyan yung year 0, nilagay ko yung mga major items. Namely, fixed assets, pre-operating expenses, working capital, and cash requirements. Okay? So ito yun. So you need cash when you begin year 1. Ito yun. Okay. So yung example, binago ko, nilagay ko yung prepaid rent. Nandito. Example, 2 million lang. Ito, assume to. So you can have this as rental rate assumption. So, para medyo kayo, guided kayo. Okay, so may total kayo bawat item. Okay, so I just would like to mention na from the fixed assets, you can generate a schedule of annual depreciation by dividing the fixed asset cost by the life in years. Okay, so pwede kayong rito. Pwede kayong magkaroon ng schedule and then add it up ito yung yearly depreciation expense ninyo. Nalilitaw sa income statement as depreciation. Ito yun. So pare-pareho sila every year. Okay. So, hindi na kailangan i-type in. Kung ano man yung kinumpute ninyo roon, okay, lalabas dito. As for the rental, 2 million a year. So kung ano man yung in-assume mo rito, yan. 2 million a year. Bigyan natin naman. So kung ano yung in-assume dito, lalabas yun doon. 2 million per year. Okay. Pwede na ba yung 2 million a year o 2 million per month? Gawin na lang natin itong 2.4 million divided by 4. 600,000 lang pala ito. Kita niyo, mali yung formula. So, okay. 600,000. Ayan. So, kung per year yun, dapat 3 months divided by 4. Sige. So, and how to get the working capital? Ang assumption natin, pwedeng 2 months na walang operations or 3 months. Pwede niyo palitan yan. Lagay na lang natin. For example. Excuse. So ito yung assume number of months. Okay. So kung 3 months, ito yung formula. Pwede niyo palitan yan na 2. Pwede niyo palitan ng 2. Yeah. Depende kung anong gusto niyo mangyari. So kung kunyari natataasan kayo sa 3 kanina. So kung titingnan niyo yung 58,000 yung sum ng first 3. Listen carefully, 1, 2, 3. Dito lalabas yun, 58,000. Okay? Subjectively, pwede kayo maglagay rito ng 60,000. Ayan, pwede mo lagay 60,000. 60 million. So, ang kailangan lang niyo bantayan habang ninyo nakikita yun, ayan. 58 lang eh. Why should I get 65? Unless gusto mong may 7 million ka palagi sa sa bangko. So pwede rin naman 60 million lang tapos may 1.6 ka. Okay? Now, kung ano yung nilagay mong subjective input dito, lalabas yun dito sa required funding. 60 million. Okay? And then, 60 million yung funding mo. Now, you can, again, assume pwede mong karoon ng mixture ng utang sa bangko. 30% yun. Okay. Uy, bakit di gumalaw? Sorry. Hindi pa pala tapos ito. So, you can have your 60,000 times this. And 60,000 times this. Ayan. So, 42,000, 18,000. Pwede niyo laruin ito. Pwede niyo gawing 40-20. Pwede niyo gawing 45-15. Okay. Kayo na lang kayo na lang maglaro rito. Pwedeng galawin niya. Okay. In fact, alam ko na kung bakit hindi. Okay. pwede palang manual na lang ito. So, pwedeng lumabas ang resultant capital structure, pwede magbago. So, pwede ninyo ilagay rito So, 60 yan, Sige, lagay lang natin. Example lang, 40,000. 40 million. Tapos dito, 20 million. So, yung 40, pwede magiging 35 galing sa investors, 5 million from the group. Tapos yung 20 million, pwede manggaling sa bangko. Okay? Tapos may mga assumptions din. Ano yung interest rate? 12%. Pwede rin yung years to pay na 20. So, kung 20 years to pay, ito yung schedule na nababawas tuwing magbabayad ng principal amount every year. Kasi 20 million divided by 20 is 1 million every year na babayaran. Plus interest rate. So, interest rate is 12% ng 20 million ng beginning balance. Ending balance yung natitira. So, ayan. So, makikita ninyo, dito naglalaro yun. Nagbabayad ka ng interest na 12%. If you pay longer, 20,000. Ito 20 million. Ang binabayaran mong interest, 25,200,000 in 20 years. Yan ang binabayaran in 20 years. Okay? So, yung utang mong 20 million, at the end of 20 years, ito binabayaran 45,200,000. Okay? So, pwedeng laruin yan. Pwede mong gawing paiksiin mo, 15 years to pay. Dahil 15 years to pay, pwedeng bumaba yun ng 10%. Yeah. Bakit nagkaroon ng laman to? Dapat wala nang laman to kasi year 16 to. Dapat 15 years to pay. If D60 greater than H40. Sadali lang klasa. D60, H40, H41 ba? H40. So 16 is greater than 15. Blank. Uy, bakit hindi sumunod? Anyway. Ma-check naman niyo kung tama. Kasi 20 million lang inutang, hindi dapat 21,333. Dapat 21 million lang. Pero the addition is right. Dito ba? 16 plus 20 is 36. Bakit kaya hindi gumana ito? Pwede rin 10 years to pay. Titingnan ko lang yung formula kung gumagana. 10 years to pay. Meron lumalabas. Tama, 20 million plus 11, 31. Sige, I'll change that later on. Sige. So, pinapakita ko lang sa inyo na pwedeng magpalit, pwedeng sensitivity analysis. Okay. So, lalabas yan dyan. Tinatang ko ba ito? At 12%. So, meron kayong schedule ng principal payment. May schedule din kayo ng interest payment. Okay. So, you need to make assumptions. Kasi sa income statement, profit and loss, makikita ninyo na meron nakalagay rito, nakahiwalay. Hiniwalay ko na yung interest expense. Okay? And please note, yung principal payments, wala rito. Wala yan. Hindi yan pinapasok dito. That is not an expense. Ang expense lang yung interest. So the interest here, ito. Okay. Makikita ninyo dito sa funding. Ayan. So yung first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yung first 5 years sa study period, makikita niyo dito sa income statement, nakalabas yan. Hiniwalay ko na para mabilis ninyo maintindihan. 2920. 2920. Bakit 1920? Ay, ano pala yun? Sorry ha. Mali pala. Hindi pala ito. Ito pala dapat. 1, 2. Okay. Sige. So, nasusundan pa ninyo ako? Nabobore na kayo? Kaya ako lang binibigay ng oras yung pag-explain nito. Okay? Not because they are already, wag ninyo intindihin, ha? Palibasa, in-automate ko na ito para sa inyo. Itong mga ito, nakikita ninyo rito, will be obtained from here. Ayan. Ito yan, interest. Okay? You will not find the principal payments sa income statement. I repeat, wala rito yung principal payment. Cash out kasi yun eh. Itong nilalagay natin dito sa profit and loss statement ay resulta lahat ng operations in producing and selling. Producing and selling. Lahat ng gastos para sa mga transaction na yun, para sa operations, nandito lahat sa profit and loss statement. Yung mga gastos para sa financing, okay, dito ninyo makikita yan sa cash flow. May makikita kayo sa cash flow na ayan, repayment of loans. Repayment of loans. Doon ninyo makikita yung 1 million. Every year na binabayaran from the funding. Ayan. Itong 5 to, makikita niyo sa cash flow as repayment of loans. Okay? And then may makikita rin kayo rito na dividends, which I will shortly explain. At meron din dito yung tax, yan, income taxes. Okay? Lahat yan nagagaling sa income statement. Ayan. So may income tax, corporate tax expense. Para hindi kayo maligaw, corporate tax. Okay, income tax. So, income tax nandito every year. Depende yan sa sa organizational setup ninyo. So, kung nag-establish kayo ng corporate startup, ito yung rate. That can be changed. Depende kung ano yung nature ng or type of organization. Interest galing sa funding. Okay? And therefore, yung makikita ninyong gross margin minus GSAE. Okay? GSAE. Nandito yan. Here. No, bakit kasamang land rental? Kasi ginagamit mo yun para sa business mo. Sa production and selling mo. Kaya, ano yan? Okay. Kasama yan. So, hindi ang kasama yung principal payment. Kasi pumasok na pera yun eh. Pero ginamit mo. Kaya wala yan dyan. Okay. And then, so, what you will have is earnings before interest and taxes. Kung tawagin ng mga accountants yan, EBIT. Ito yun. Okay? And then, you subtract your interest expenses, annual. You get net income before tax. Naiwan yung before tax. You subtract your income tax based on a corporate structure. Ito yun. You get net income after tax. NI-18. Napaka-importante. So, that is your bottom line. In fact, buong bottom line mo nandito. So, outrightly, you can compute your profitability ratio. How? Net income here divided by ito. Right? Divided by total sales revenue. Pwede natin lagay yan dito. is equal to net income after tax divided by sales revenue. So all of these entries are have an indication where to get them from. Okay, and then ito ulit dividends paid. So this is an arbitrary amount paid back to the shareholders. Okay, pwede din yung sabihin 10%, 15%, 5%, any percent will do. Okay, to be applied in the net income after tax. Okay, so yung first year, inassume ko na no dividends paid out. So nag-assume na lang ako ng second, third, fourth, and fifth year magbabayad ng dividend. Okay. If you subtract them from your net income after tax, ang tawag doon ay retained earnings. Okay? And that goes to the balance sheet. The third financial statement. Okay? So pupunta yun sa retained earnings. Dito yun. Okay. Baliktad lang siya kasi year zero rito. Ito year. Okay.